Hey, my sunshines. How are y'all today? We cooking with Tasha. Cooking with, no, we not. But we are going to have something special today. We doing a mukbang because you know what? Y'all kind of like those. And you know, my thing is mukbangs with the best greasy spoons in Chicago, Illinois. And today I will not disappoint you. So we gonna mukbang with Tasha. Mukbang with Tasha. Okay.
Don't play with it, don't be dishonest. Ay, still not understanding.
So today, my husband, bless his whole heart, Ontario went to go to Home of the Hoagie. And if you know, you know. But if you don't, I'm going to put you on today. Now listen, what is a greasy spoon, you might ask? A greasy spoon is a restaurant that normally on your best day, if you see it, you gonna drive right on past it. But then you gonna recognize as you driving the amount of people going in this restaurant or waiting for their food in said restaurant, and realize that it may not look like it's all up to health parts, but they must be doing something right. Cause look at all them people. That's Home of the Hoagie. Yep, that's Home of the Hoagie. So we just gonna pray over all our food, especially from our greasy spoons, and we gonna get it, and it's gonna change your life. It's life changing. It's gonna be a food that is like none other, nowhere else. Nothing comes even close to the taste of Home of the Hoagie. I'm gonna tell you how you gonna order it. So they have sub sandwiches, which are called hoagies, or what they're known for is their steaks, honey. So you're going to go in there and you're going to get a steak mix, extra sweet peppers with a fry with sauce. That's how you're going to order that. So you're going to get a steak with mild peppers, or we call it a steak mix with extra sweet peppers and a fry with sauce. That's it. And if you want to try the hoagie, you never tasted a hoagie like that either. And I will tell you that I do believe that all of their hoagies are all turkey products. You never taste turkey that's like this. It's going to look like it's some ham. It's not. It's turkey products. So do yourself a favor. And when you visit the city, go to Home of the Hoagie. It's on 111th and Troop. I promise you will not be disappointed. Do expect to wait about an hour at minimum for your food. Or you can call them and place your order. Now they're going to tell you 20 minutes. Maybe they may even say 25 minutes. You wait 50 minutes. Don't call them. Don't go up there no 20 minutes when they tell you 20 minutes. Don't do it to yourself, because that food will not be ready. Double whatever time they told you, and then go in there and get your food, and you're going to be like, thanks, Tosh. Thanks. See, I'm putting you on. You can call them and place your order. I'm going to give you their number to make it easier for you. 773-238-7171. How do I know that number? Because many moons ago, I used to probably eat them once a week. I don't eat them like I used to. I actually have not probably had them in over 6 months. But that number right there, their number will never part from my mind. But when that food gets here, I'm going to show you guys. And then we're going to sit down and we're going to have a chit chat. All right? Is that all right with you? All right. So I'm going to talk to y'all later, because we're going to mukbang with Tasha. Mukbang with Tasha. I'll talk to y'all in a minute, all right? All right. I hope y'all having a good day. And while y'all waiting for me, don't forget to press subscribe. And then I need you to comment, and I need you to like this video and watch it all the way through. Y'all, we need some watch hours. Somebody try to watch it all the way through for me. And then go and watch all the other videos that I posted. Remember, I post every Sunday, every Wednesday, and every Friday for now. I might go down to 2 days a week, but for now, we're going to keep it at 3. All right? I'll talk to y'all later. Give me a second. Bye. Okay, y'all. This is the steak. You see that? It's a steak mix with sauce and extra sweet peppers. It's not that many extra, but y'all get the point. That's the steak. And let me get y'all a couple fries to see. This is the fries with sauce. Ooh, they hot, y'all. I made a mess. Y'all don't be laughing at me. My hands are clean, and this is my food. Those are the fries with sauce. It is nothing like it. Don't say I didn't put y'all on. Okay, guys. So I showed you all the food. And now we're going to sit and we're going to have us a conversation. So you all see my phone out because I have some notes. And I want to make sure that I completely stay on topic, okay? So I'm not going to eat all of this, by the way. And you all, one point of advice. Don't go there on no Tuesday. So they have half, or I know used to have, half off hoagie sandwiches on Tuesday. That is not the day you want to go to Home of the Hoagie. That double the time, probably going to be triple the time. You go there on a Tuesday. So just remember, you guys, Natasha never told you to go there on no Tuesday. That's the day I stay far, far, far away. Okay? All right. And they're not open on Sundays. Okay? All right. Now, I've gotten so many inboxes since I posted my video and my husband and I posted on our video. And a lot of, comments regarding how we sustain our marriage. Single women. How did you know he was the one? Single women also believing that, there is no hope for them. Listen, you've already defeated yourself when you told yourself that there is no hope for you. There is so much power in words. So before you go spewing that into the atmosphere, be careful what you say to yourself. And I know you don't believe that, but you don't want to put those words out into the atmosphere because words have power. There is hope for you. If he did it for Natasha, he will do it and can do it for you. But the first step is believing. The second step is working on you, loving you. No one can come into your life and love you more than what you love yourself. So if you don't love yourself, you're not ready for God to bring somebody into your life to love you either. You got to fix you. You got to take care of your soul, your spirit, and the things that make you whole. Because no man is going to make you whole. That starts from within. That is all to do with you. So what I wanted to discuss today is what no one tells you about marriage. So y'all ain't gonna say Natasha didn't tell you. Because Natasha, we gonna go over some stuff today. I am here to tell you that marriage is not easy. And marriage is not 50-50. Because see, some days you going to put in 99%. And some days your spouse going to put in 99%. While the other person putting in 1%. And some days you going to give 70 and they going to give 30 and vice versa. Even on days when you have nothing and your cup is empty, you're going to have to pull something out of you. Those are the days that are worth fighting for your marriage. But it's not easy. It's not for the weak. It is not for the weary. And it's hard work. It is hard, constant work. But it is rewarding. It is rewarding. I always say sometimes marriage feels like mandatory overtime. When I've already put in 60-hour work hour week. You heard that? When I'm already at 60 hours, they call for mandatory overtime on a Monday. Or worse, on a Friday. Some days it's like that. But marriage is not about showing up when you feel like it. You cannot be selfish and sustain a marriage. It won't work. So if you know that you are too selfish with your love right now or yourself, you're probably not ready for this. Because pride aside, sometimes you even have to put your wants and your desires aside to make matters work for the two. There is no pride in marriage. I've told y'all before, there will be many days that you will do exactly what you said you would never do. Never say never, because never will come back and make a fool of you. Do you hear me? Never say never. But I will say the rewards when you have the right partner are so worth it. They're so worth it. So even though you may feel like you have made a fool of yourself on this day, your why will come to you. Let me give you an example. Let me think, because these days don't happen all the time, but they come. I don't know. Let me come back to that. But I will tell you, the first year, I'm not even going to say the first year. Sometimes, what is the honeymoon phase? I don't know. Because I will tell you that my first 5 years of marriage were probably the toughest 5 years of marriage. And that's supposed to be the honeymoon phase. So while everybody out here talking about, ooh, you honeymooners, baby, that wasn't honeymoon for me. Because you're bringing two people from different walks of life together with the way their mother raised him and the way your mother raised you or whomever raised you together in one house to unite as one. So how you operate with your family, they may not operate with their family like that. How you clean when you shower, even stuff like this, when you shower and your washcloth or your dry off towel, you have a way of hanging that on the back door. That's what we did. They may hang their dry off towel on top of the shower rod. I wasn't raised like that. We didn't do that. It can be something just as simple and as petty as that will drive you up a wall during those first couple years during what's supposed to be the honeymoon phase. See, when you think honeymoon, you think rainbows and unicorns, the lies they tell. And don't let kids be involved, because the way my family did it, in my mind, was the absolute perfect way. But guess what? They're thinking that the way their family did it is the perfect way. See, I have a very, 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 very supportive family. Almost to the point where it is unreal. And I recognize that I was blessed beyond measure to be born in this family. That does not mean that because your dynamic of family looks different, that I get to judge you based on how your dynamic and what your dynamic looks like. But see, it's some things that were foreign to me. While my mother and father-in-law and my brother-in-laws and the family were amazing, it was still very different. Some things that, I just had to overcome. See, we don't need a phone call to show up at each other's family's house. That was normal to not call before you come with us because that's how we are. I don't have to call and ask my family to do it. More than likely, they already know what's going on with me just because we talk about any and everything together. But it's not in an unhealthy way. It's in a very loving and supportive way. The way that we are there for one another, it is unreal, but it is my truth. And when I experience something that isn't my truth, trying to understand your truth, and then trying to see, recognize that maybe my truth is not the best truth. Maybe the way that we are there for one another, maybe it isn't a great way, but maybe it's unhealthy. Maybe. I mean, it's what I know. Or maybe the way that your family respects your space and privacy, maybe that's the norm. I don't know. But as you guys can see, our norms may look very different. But who's to say which norm is the best fit? And how are you going to raise your kids? Married couples, chime in. Comment below on some of your most challenging days and maybe even challenging experiences. I need my singles to understand hold on, y'all. Y'all, I wish you could taste this. It is seasoned to perfection. I don't know how they do it. I've never been able to recreate it. Matter of fact, I've never even tried. It's not like a filling. It definitely doesn't taste like a sloppy Joe. It's like grounded steak. It's this sauce that they use. It is sweet, but it is seasoned, and those two things together just make a very happy place. Y'all gotta try it. Y'all gotta try it. And I'm not gonna eat this whole thing. I just needed to bring some of the best greasy spoons to you, some of the best hole-in-the-wall restaurants to expose you guys to. And if you already know, maybe pique your interest so you can go make that drive and go pick you up one. Because the old me would have had a Pepsi. But y'all, I had to give up Pepsi's because Pepsi had a chokehold over me. It's an addiction. So I can't drink Pepsi anymore. And I really don't need to be drinking this pop, but I very seldom drink soda. I drink water. But this meal, some meals just require that extra oomph. This is one of those meals. Okay, y'all. Let me get back. I will tell you guys that love evolves. So if you are within your first 5 years of marriage, hold on, you guys, hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Love evolves. Love evolves. The butterflies, they do fade away. But what replaces that is the deep connection and partnership that you will develop from your marriage. What do you mean? Well, you know, the butterflies. That's not to say you will never get butterflies when you see your spouse, right? But when you're dating, when it's new, you get them all the time. You get them all the time. It's that new feeling. You know, like when you get a new car and it has that new car smell, and eventually over time, you may still love your car, but that smell fades away. That doesn't mean the love for your car, especially if it's your dream car, goes away. The smell of the newness, the look, the sheen. See, that's the part that fades, right? And it doesn't mean that sometimes you won't feel those same, butterflies when you see that person. Sometimes you definitely will, but it won't be the same as when you first got that new car or you first start dating them. And see, what people fail to realize is that feeling should fade. But what should happen is your deeper connection, which is even better than the temporary feeling of the butterflies. See, that deeper connection where your love grows beyond the facade. It grows beyond what your first impression of that person. And you develop partnership. And that goes beyond my way or his way. It's now a partnership where we are in this together. And that feeling is a much more desirable feeling. But between those butterflies and that partnership, some hard times are going to come into play. And it's okay. It is what will help you develop that deeper connection. See, you're going to experience some roadblocks. And you all, I'm not trying to scare you from marriage. I'm trying to give you the real on what it is and what it's not. See, with every challenge that you face together, those challenges are going to build building blocks that are going to be what helps you create a more lasting love built on strength. So if you have these two big building blocks, it's harder to knock that thing down. Whereas in the beginning, wherever the wind blows, you can blow that day. And those are those arguments. Well, what did I do? Who did I sign up for? Guess what? Keep pushing through. Keep pushing through. Those are those days that I told you, you will grow through some things where you say, I'll never do that. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. And yes, you should. Now, I'm not talking about compromising your well-being. No. I'm talking about, things I can't even put y'all, if you know what I'm talking about, and I know you do, put some examples below. My mind is going in so many different directions right now. I'm trying to stay on track. So me trying to think back to a time on doing something I said I would never do. Bear with me. We're going to get there. But I say this to say, you guys, stay the course. Stay the course, because your love, your bond will grow stronger together. Don't go into a marriage thinking that it is all good. or you are going to be in the space that couples who have been married for 15 years and over are in. It doesn't work like that. Trust me, when you've been married for over 15 years, you have seen some dark days. And anybody that tells you that they have not, they are not necessarily being completely forthcoming with you, because you're going to go through some challenges. Put on your shield of armor and fight through. Fight through the challenges. That don't mean fight one another. That means fight through the challenges. Now listen, I'm not telling y'all that if you are being physically or emotionally abused, that those are the things that you are supposed to fight through. I didn't tell you that. Natasha not going to tell you that. Because see, there are certain things that are game deal breakers for me. But what my deal breakers are, I don't know what your deal breakers are. Only you can determine what that looks like. So if infidelity is that thing for you, if physical abuse is that thing for you, if emotional abuse is that thing for you, only you can tell you what your deal breaker is. But those are conversations that you need to have with your boyfriend or your fiance, so that everyone is fully aware of what those deal breakers are, so that they can respect the partnership that you are trying to develop. Now, if somebody goes off on the partnership, right, and is disloyal to the things that you said are your deal breakers, well, that's something and only something that you can reevaluate at that time. But no one should be telling you, the wife or the husband, what your deal breakers should be. These were just examples. Keep people out of your business. Did you hear? Let me say it again, because for that person in the back there, keep people out of your business. They don't understand why you stayed, and they shouldn't understand. That's not for them to say. And a right person in their right frame of mind wouldn't even try to tell you that. Now, you may have someone that you feel is your prayer warrior, or a best friend that you can trust with your life, that you choose to confide in. I'm not telling you you shouldn't have that one person. I do have that one person. That one person for me is my mother. Honey, I know she will never guide me wrong. I also know that as much as she loves me, she loves my husband. I know that she is vested in our partnership. You may not have your mother in your life. Maybe for you, that person is your father. Or maybe for you, that person is your sibling. You know who that person is. That mentor that rides for your marriage. That's the person, if you choose to confide in beyond God, that you should be able to tell your deepest secrets to. And not even everything. Nobody gets everything. Nobody should get everything except God, or your diary, or your own thoughts. No, those are the only subjects that should get everything. Other than that, some stuff you got to keep to yourself. Because even though they may ride for you, even though my mother loves our unit, I am still her daughter. I'm still her daughter. So there are certain things that she doesn't even need to be subject to. Because why put that judgment in her mind? Did you hear that? Why put that judgment in her mind when it is only a test that we are going through at that time? It's not fair for your person to have to handle all your battles with you. That's not fair to them. Because guess what? Whoever your person is, they have their own battles that they are facing. So imagine they're going through life and looking good or whatever. They're still facing some internal struggles behind their four walls. That when you go ahead and give them your problem, see, you just compacted what they're holding on to. Don't put all of that on their plate. You're going to have to learn how to manage conflict. Gonna have to learn how to manage conflict. And some things you're going to learn to have to resolve them with your partner. Yeah. Not Facebook, not Instagram, not TikTok. Your partner. Your partner. TikTok is not your diary. Facebook is not your diary. Social media is not your diary. Now, see, we can use this as a place to teach others, learn, but nobody gets to understand the most intimate portion of your marriage. Nobody should have that but you and your spouse. That is something sacred for the two of you. Now, you may have a person that you confide in. You can give them some. Don't give them everything. But sometimes you need some guidance on certain things. Use that at that time. Not for everything. Okay? And again, my married people, my engaged people, even my singles, chime in below. Tell me some of the things that you are having fear on, worried about. And let's talk through that. That's why we are here. It is an army of people working together for the better. We are a judgment-free zone over here at Mrs. Natasha P. This is judgment-free zone. Inbox me. I'll respond. I got time. Inbox me. Oh, yeah. This part. This is the one. You two in your relationship will annoy each other over the dumbest things. The dumbest things. Especially when you're already annoyed over something big or a matter that you've been dealing with hasn't been resolved. Be prepared for those things, single people or engaged people. Be prepared for that. Go into this marriage knowing it's not about the glam of the wedding day. The real work begins once you get home from your honeymoon and begin to live as one. I know people say marriage is nothing but a paper. It is though. It's more than just the paper. And why is that, you ask? Because see, once you lift that right hand at the stake when you go in and get your marriage license, it is something about that part. And when you choose to marry your lifelong partner in front of your family and friends and commit yourself to one another for life, that it emotionally changes things. I don't know how, but it's the mental state of it that you can't just walk away. It's not that easy to just get out of a binding contract. Because see, that's what marriage is. It's when you go in that state and you put your right hand up and you sign your paper, that becomes a binding contract. It's not that easy to walk away from that. Whereas when you're dating or even engaged, you take that ring off that he gave you or she gave you, and you can walk away and no questions asked. But when you say, I do, well, see, then and there becomes a binding contract with your one. And it's not that easy. It is one of the most rewarding partnerships you will ever develop. But it is also one of the most challenging commitments you will ever face. Is it worth it? When you have two people working and coming together, absolutely it's worth it. Absolutely. Even on your days of discord, it is still worth it. Does that mean sometimes the way they chew won't bother you, baby? Does that mean sometimes the way they walk won't annoy you? Oh, yes, it will. Yes, it will. It could be them talking and you just look at them like, ugh, for that moment. You know, one of the truest statements that I've spoken is, I love you, but I don't like you today. And that's normal. That is a human feeling that is real. It is real. But I also hear couples, singles saying, I'm just gonna be by myself. I'm just, you know what? I've been by myself for so long that I don't even know if I can. And to me, when I hear it, I'm not judging you, but it sounds like fear. Because some people just don't want to be bothered with the growth of the partnership. But when I tell you, it is one of the best feelings in the entire world to be married to your person and in a partnership where two heads have come together to become even stronger together. It is beyond worth it. It is beyond worth it. So don't allow fear or past situations to prevent you from opening up yourself to what can be. Because when you allow the right person in, it is so much better than being alone. It really is. And I don't want you to be bounded by fear. I don't want you to be fearful that your spouse is going to hurt you. Now, will there be some rough times? Yes, guys, we've talked about that. Yes. Will you sometimes have some days where tears are just flowing? Yes, we're human. Sometimes we say things that we don't mean in the heat of anger. It happens. Never be so prideful that you don't know how to even apologize. Not for what you did, but how you made them feel. I don't care how right you felt what you did was. If you made your partner feel some type of way, that you can apologize for. And wait till the heat dies down to approach the situation. You know, there's a 24-hour rule that was created for a reason. When the first 24 hours, when something big happens that doesn't feel good, your emotions are all over the place. So you say things that you wouldn't normally in a very calm setting say. And that is not the right time to vet a big problem that requires conversation. Not the right time to vet it. Calm your nerves. Relax your mind. And then have a conversation when two people have now reached the point where we're level-minded and now we can have a conversation. When you up here, you're going to bring that person up here and baby, that's oil and vinegar. You can't mix those two things together. Those are two pieces of liquid that just not going to work. Calm down. Get to the point where you can be told about yourself and you are in a form where you can release without emotion to express your concern so that you can both tell one another how you made each other feel in that moment. And while you're up here, write it down in your diary so that you can release it. Because sometimes we just need to release it. Start writing it down, but don't press post. Write it down in a book for you, not for the public eye. Not for, girl, boy, let me tell you what your girl did. Boy, let me tell you what your girl did. No. Write it down where you can clear your thoughts. You can release that anger that you have in you at that moment. And you have a book that you are writing to that will receive what you're feeling, but not bring it back out when, to utilize it against you. Write it down. You'll get the same satisfaction of yelling it out if you write it down. You just need to release it. It wasn't the how it happened. It was just getting it off your chest. Get it off your chest like that. And when you have relaxed and you feel free of the anger, then have that conversation with your partner so that you can be open to hearing about yourself. Because most of the time, there's a thing called cause and effect. Because you did something and they reacted to it, doesn't make you the right in the right. You caught that? You could actually be the person that created whatever that turmoil is. And you may not even know unless you are able to have a level-headed conversation. Try it out and see. Intimacy. You all, listen. As your marriage grows, guess what? You're getting older too. And if you put kids into the mix, guess what? That's creating a different level of energy as well. If your kids are actively involved in extracurricular activities, guess what? You're tired too. Plus work, plus life, plus whatever you're going through physically. Sometimes intimacy is not the same at year 10 as it is at year 1. But let me tell you something. Intimacy is not just the physical act. Did you hear me, y'all? Intimacy is not just the physical act. Emotional intimacy is what keeps love alive. Date nights, deep conversations, small gestures, like just sending a text to say, I appreciate you, or I love you, without asking for something. See, those are the things that create deeper intimacy, that can make your day that much brighter. You all don't look for the same level of physical intimacy year 10, maybe even year 5, as you had during the early years, or the dating years, or when you first got married. Because, see, you didn't have some of those complexities of life that you will have down the line. And it's okay. It doesn't mean that your partner does not yearn for you, love you. Honey, sometimes they just tired. Sometimes, just like we women go through things physically, menopause, menstruals, all kind of womanly situations, Men go through those same exact things, but they don't necessarily talk about them like we women do. Not all of them, but it's normal. That doesn't mean that they don't desire you. As we get older, our bodies change. Our bodies change. And the same sensual feelings that we felt when we were in our 20s, maybe even in our early 30s, we don't necessarily have those same feelings all the time in our 40s, middle 40s, 50s. Doesn't mean they don't come, but you're not in the same place that you were in your 20s, and that's okay. I mean, now they have all kind of pills that you can take to make it. But if your partner not taking those same pills, guess what? Y'all not at the same level. You don't want to be all the way up here and your partner is at the place of normalcy, because that's going to create some conflict. Now, maybe the person down here, if you're having issues, maybe you need to talk to your doctor. Because if it's normal to be right here, but you're down here, at least get to some level of normalcy.